say I'm the board chair of this amazing organization. Today we're excited that you've taken your time out to join us because we're celebrating a dual occasion, which is Dayton Ohio Habitat's 30th year anniversary and the kickoff of our Habitat for Humanity Home Begins Here capital campaign. As many of you know, like most families that we serve, we have been on a journey to find a home for many, many years. We're very proud to announce that we finally found this most amazing location for many obvious and maybe some not so obvious yet reasons, but they will soon be coming. With any endeavor and occasion such as this, we need support of our public officials. I'd like to take just a few moments to recognize those here in attendance. If all of our public servants would stand so that we could give you proper thanks. Serve our community have played key roles in our work to eliminate substandard housing for impoverished and low-income families throughout Dayton and entire Montgomery County. So thank you. Additionally, it is important for me to acknowledge our current board members in attendance. Without their true dedication, time, talent, and treasure, none of this would be possible. I would like to welcome all board members to please stand and receive the recognition that you so deserve. Some of them are already standing in the back, so. As I mentioned, this has been a journey, one that began nearly 10 years ago by dedicated board members, both past and present. This journey is not one that could have been done alone, and one that we cannot finish alone. We are so blessed that so many friends and supporters of Habitat have graciously already donated financially and in kind their resources. Due to the compelling story of our board and our campaign cabinet has been spreading across town, at this time may I take the opportunity to introduce the honorary chairs for the Home Begins Here capital campaign. Please join me at the podium as I call your name. Frank Gorman, Field Operations Manager for Habitat for Humanity International, also former Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity for Dayton. Reverend Dr. Robert Jones, Pastor of College Hill Presbyterian Church, and the co-founder of Dayton Ohio Habitat for Humanity 30 years ago. Kevin Longacre, the President of University of Dayton Habitat for Humanity Collegiate Chapter, and Charles Sims Jr., President of Sims Development. Charles is standing in for his father and mother, Charles and Ann Sims. And Dr. Daniel Curran, the President of the University of Dayton, sends his regrets that he could not be here today. These incredible volunteers, along with the board, have actively and aggressively been raising money for this precious cause. So please let's give them the hearty round of applause that they deserve. I'd like to invite Reverend Jones to please remain at the podium and just say a few words, please.
Good morning. It is a real pleasure, and I'm just so proud to be here to been asked to serve as a co-chair for this campaign. Homes Begin Here. It's just, I don't know how to express how I feel. How many of you have grandchildren? How many of you hoping to have grandchildren? I say that because I feel as though I'm kind of the grandpa at this point of this organization. For some 30 years ago now, I, together with a pastor's wife from Kettering, got together and decided that something needed to be done about poverty, and the way to do it is to deal with housing. And of course, she went down to Plains, Georgia, and spent time at Conneaut Farms, and got excited and came back, and we started talking, and she had caught the vision of Peter, Paul, and Mary's song about if I had a hammer, you know that? And she had that vision, and we got together, and we decided that maybe with that vision, something could happen with poverty in this community, with housing as well. So we had decided that if we could get enough people in Dayton to put a hammer in their hands, we could hammer in justice in impoverished communities. We decided that if we could possibly get enough people with a bell in their hands, that we could ring in more freedom for those in impoverished communities. We decided that we could possibly get enough people together with hammer and with bells and working together and singing together, that we could sing in more love between brothers and sisters, not only here, but the way Habitat International was singing it all over the world. Well, we went about that and tried to get started. And of course, most of you know it wasn't easy. We had a lot of mistakes. But I'm excited because I have had the opportunity to watch this organization as an infant. Kind of watched it crawl, watched it learn to walk, and of course now it has become a educated, sophisticated adult, but have never lost its compassion and passion for assisting people to become homeowners and to own their own place of dwelling. And that's just great. I'm told that since its existence, there have been about 200 homes, and 10 of those last year. So that's really exciting. And I tell you, I'm a proud grandpapa, when I stand here and see and recognize that all this has been done. Some of you know this is Holy Week, and I'm going to rush off to get back because we have service at 12. But this organization is about what Jesus tried to teach everybody, that we should be concerned and helpful for those that society consider to be the lost, the left out, and to bring them into where many of us are. So the work of this week, of Holy Week, this is a week. At first I said, why did they choose Holy Week? But this is an appropriate week because that's what we're about, trying to deal with those persons who society considers to be lost and left out. And we're trying to bring them in to wholeness with us and other communities. I want to kind of close with saying to all of you who may consider yourselves grandchildren, to Mrs. Brewer and myself, who kind of gave rise to this, and we worked together very close, and we brought forth a baby, but we didn't do it. You know, it was really a legitimate one. I want to clear that up. But we are really proud that to be grandparents of this organization. Millard Fuller had an African expression that some of you have used, and I'm not sure. I couldn't remember what country in Africa it was from, but it's oye, 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 oye. And some of the workers, when we were working on buildings and so forth, we would yell out that term, oye, oye. And everybody had different meanings for it. Some said it really meant great. Others said good work. Well, I want to suggest my own meaning of the word, more power to you. And so I'm going to call out had Habitat for Humanity, and you say, oh yeah. And after we say that, I will be finished. Habitat for Humanity.
Oh yeah.
Habitat for Humanity.
Oh yeah.
Habitat for Humanity.
Oh yeah.
More power to you.
Thank you, Reverend Jones. Every time you speak, it just it inspires me so much, and I thank you for taking time out of your busy day today. It is now my pleasure to introduce Candy Settle, one of our homeowners, and she's just going to briefly talk about her story. And introduce her son.
Good morning. How's everyone? First, I want to thank Habitat for inviting me. I feel privileged to be here and to be a partner homeowner. As she said, my name is Candy Settle, and I just want to share my story. I just want to give you a background about myself, my oldest child, Caleb. Stand up for me, Caleb. And Isaiah, who's sitting on Gail's lap. He probably won't get up. But we became Habitat homeowners almost 2 years ago. Next month will be 2 years. And it has been the greatest reward you can imagine. What I want to say is my story wasn't typical. It came with a lot of struggles, a lot of hard work and dedication. And that is why the home I have today means so much to me. It's the greatest reward, like I said. For several years, my children and I were living in a low-income area, very much in poverty, unsafe, full of violence. We lived in poor living conditions. We were among fighting, drugs, gun shooting. It's not your typical place to live. A friend had mentioned Habitat, and I was immediately interested. I, as a single mom, was in college full-time, and at the time was only able to work part-time. But I was desperate to give my children a better life. So I did what I had to do. I followed up, I made the phone call to Habitat, and I went to an orientation. I was very excited. I was excited for what was in store for us. At the end of the orientation, after meeting with a lady, she said, well, I regret to inform you, because you have a lack of income and you're only working part-time right now, you don't qualify. Imagine my disappointment. But she said, I just want to let you know, just because you don't qualify now doesn't mean you should give up. And I, being the person that I am, do not give up. So I struggled on and persevered. It was about a year later. I had finished college, now have a medical assisting associate degree, working full-time for a doctor, doing very good for myself, but still in the same living conditions, still striving to provide my children with a better life. When, lo and behold, I got a letter in the mail for another Habitat orientation. I knew I had to try again. So I went to the orientation, and this time, to my surprise, the same lady that told me, don't give up, keep trying, keep doing what you're doing, was there. I was very excited. This time, after the end of the orientation, I found out I qualified. The happiest day you can imagine. I was so excited. And I told the lady, this is like trying out for American Idol, and I just won the golden ticket. I was very, very excited. I was one of 18 families to be chosen that year. I did what I had to do. I persevered on. I was dedicated to this mission for my children. I completed over 300 sweat equity hours, and I helped build 3 homes in 1 year. I completed the program in exactly 1 year to date, which I was told is very hard to do. So that tells you how strongly I felt about this organization and providing my children with a better life. My children and I now are in a very safe environment. We live in an area where we have a neighborhood watch program. Our neighbors are very friendly and cordial. We look out for one another. My children have learned responsibility. They have house chores. They do yard work. They're learning the value of $1. So this overall has been a great and a rewarding experience for all of us. It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to us, and we are so happy and proud to be a Habitat Partner family. Thank you.
I never get tired of hearing Candy's story. She is one amazing woman and a wonderful mother. We are so very proud of her and what she has accomplished. And we're proud of those boys too. We have stories about how they came to the neighborhood meetings and passed out the flyers and just melted the hearts of anybody that met them. Aren't they adorable? Thank you so much, Candy, for sharing your story. Many of you here today know our story. For the last 10 years, we have struggled to continue this mission in very cramped quarters. After today, we will struggle no more. Okay, now's the time to clap. Last year, the board embarked on a $750,000 campaign to secure a new home for us. Today, we are standing in that home. In this home, we will be able to serve all of our families in one location. In this home, our ReStore will have more than twice the retail space it has now. This will allow us to sell more items, make more money, and build more homes for low-income families. In this home, we will be able to consolidate all of our operations in one location and cut overhead costs. In this home, we will continue our work for eliminating poverty housing for families in Montgomery County. As you look around you, you can see this is not just a pipe dream. It is a dream that is becoming reality right before our eyes. It is a dream that is being funded with the support of many generous people. I would like to call them to the podium at this time to stand with me on this historic day in Dayton Habitat history. Tracy Ballard. We are especially, I know you're out there. We are especially proud to have her here representing her mother, Patty Ballard. Her mother was an extraordinary woman and one of our best board members. She was fully engaged in our campaign prior to her illness. Although she can't be present today in body, we are glad she's here with us in spirit. And Kathy Ponitz, representing CareSource. Dave Dager, plumber extraordinaire, will be representing Catch the Building Spirit and the Presbyterian Coalition. Frank Gorman, you heard from him earlier. Kelly Gray, where is Kelly? Kelly, as I have told everyone that I've toured through this building, she was with me when we kissed 99 frogs before we found this building. Reverend Jones, if you will please come back up. Marsha Martin is going to represent the staff of Dayton Habitat. Rick and Leslie Pavlak. Charlie Sims, representing the Sims family. Kevin Longacre, representing the University of Dayton, my alma mater, by the way. Well, I'm giving them time to get up here. Doug Cleaves, representing PNC. Veteran, represented by Linda Hoffman. Mark Guerrero, representing DP&L and DP&L Foundation. And the whole executive committee of the Board of Trustees. Do I have to call you out that it's actually Denise? Rick is not here. Come on up. Is Carol here? I haven't seen Carol. And Tim is here. Come on up. Shannon. And Dave Ramey, I don't think, is here. They are representing the other 7 of you. Board of Dayton Habitat. Okay, let me see if I missed anybody on my sheet. Okay, now it is time for you guys to give them, our supporters, a round of applause. Because we're who we are, now we're going to make you work. At this time, I would like to invite everyone up at this podium with me to join me in raising our first wall in this new building, which you'll go back there by where Norm is. Wave your hand, Norm. And we have a ceremonial wall that we're raising. I would also like to invite any of the public officials that can stay to join us as well. We have some little helpers that are going to hand everyone a hammer, and we're going to go over to the wall, hammer the nails, and raise it together. Wasn't that fun? It really was. That was pretty cool. It was pretty neat. Okay, now I have some exciting news to share. Today, we have secured more than $400,000 toward our campaign. We are only $350,000 from reaching our goal. Only yesterday, we were awarded a challenge grant of $20,000. This means for every new dollar we raise starting today, it will be matched dollar for dollar up to $20,000. So I am asking everyone to consider making a gift to the campaign today. Help us secure this gift and finish this campaign. The journey to homeownership for families begins here, but it starts with you. Thank you for joining us, and we invite you to stay for cake and a tour if you haven't already had that opportunity. Thank you so much.